I'm inside my Vagrant box right now, and I'm going to try to run my API test suite. Now, the point of this video is to show you that we can run these tests using the IDE. If you prefer to run your tests via the terminal and you're more comfortable with that, feel free to continue as is. However, watch this video, see if you can find any benefits by using the IDE. Now you can see my test will pass, but I had to SSH into my Vagrant box and do this via my terminal and leave PHPStorm, kind of, right? But PHPStorm can run these tests for us, which I find a lot easier, quicker, and more useful than running tests via the command line. So let's see how we can actually do this. People working on a Mac, these steps might be slightly different, but they won't differ too much where you can't follow along. So go to File and Settings, so I think it's Preferences on Mac. Find Languages and Frameworks, click on PHP, go to your CLI interpreter and click on those three dots. Add a new from Docker Vagrant VM and select Vagrant. PHPStorm will then detect your settings on its own because of the Vagrant file. Okay, looks like we're all good. Fine, and there's even more settings all done for us here. If we click OK, you can see it's even done the path mappings too. Click OK again. And now you can see I already have some configurations here that don't work. I'm just going to remove all of them. Including the PHP unit one too. So you can add a new one. You can do it by clicking on Codeception there or clicking Add New Codeception Configuration. I'm going to name mine Vagrant. You can select any scope you'd like. You can try type or anything. I'm going to keep mine in directory. I'm going to select my tests, if I can find it, tests. Then API. Okay, so it's only going to run my API test suite. You can also pass in options like this. I'm going to pass in the colors options. And notice there's a fix issue here. Let's open this button. The reason for that is we just need to configure a CLI interpreter. If we just go to, it should be Codeception by remote interpreter because we just need to set it to the one we just configured. Okay. All good. So let's click OK and try to run our configuration. So this is going to try and run our test suite. We have a failure. The reason for this is because we have 3 dashes instead of 2 in our configuration for options. So let's remove that extra dash for colors. Okay, it's all good. And let's hit the play button again. This time it's gone past that step. It's run our tests and it's given us output in the terminal. Now on the left-hand side, you can see there are, you can expand it here to see your test and the assertions that ran. And double-clicking on them will actually take you to the test or the assertion itself. But let's try to break this test to see what the output is then. So let's just change our structure, run the test again. And it's still running. So we have a failure. You can see it'll tell you which assertions in the test passed. It'll tell you which ones failed. And you can see the verbose output here from our terminal. It says expected and actual. However, the strings are really long to actually try and compare with each other. Luckily, PHPStorm has this difference. Click to see the difference link, and it'll bring up their window, which you use for resolving conflicts and stuff. So real easy to see if you've gone wrong anywhere. And I find it's a lot more useful than using the terminal, especially when debugging your tests. So let's remove this string here and the period. And hit play, and this should pass. So that's all good. You even have a history log here where you can go back in time to see what happened in your previous tests. You can also export your test results too. So that's also quite handy if you want to just see what happened down the line, but I encourage you to use this.